The final shot of Woody Allen's 1977 masterpiece, Annie Hall, is an emotional juxtaposition to every scene which has led up to it, and it works perfectly. For the entirety of Allen's film, the camera has served as a third party to Alvy and Annie's relationship, usually composed in a position similar to how an actual third party might observe these two. The camera even seems to have a conscience at times, standing back and giving the characters privacy during moments of intimacy in certain scenes. The camera being a third party makes sense since Alvy breaks the fourth wall to actually speak directly to it.
She's right. Why did I turn off Alison Porchnick? She was beautiful, she was willing, she was real intelligent. Is it the old Groucho Marx joke that I just don't want to belong to any club that would have someone like me for a member?
You could even argue that it's not just the camera which is the third party, but every aspect of the film that participates in these characters' lives. There's also a possibility that the separateness in Allen's film doesn't implicate a party being present, but is more so an externalization of Alvy's internal rationalization process through everyday life. There are even a few scenes which are directly shot from the first-person perspective of Alvy.
He was creepy.
Yeah, I think you're pretty lucky I came along.
Oh, really? Well, la-di-da.
La-di-da.
One could say that the unique nature in Annie Hall was just an artistic experiment for Allen, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree. However, it is these elements which, more than anything, engross us in how Alvy perceives Annie, and her past, and her eventual distance, and himself and his childhood, and random people on the sidewalk or in a theater, and finally, and most notably, his own overbearing neuroses. It is my opinion that both these theories have weight. In fact, they're both correct. There is meant to be a third party present, though it is only allowed to see what Alvy wants it to see. Everything the audience experiences during the course of the film has seemingly gone through the editing room of Alvy's mind. That's why at times we're permitted the first person perspective, and then during more intimate and vulnerable moments are pushed out of reach. The film's final moments consist of Alvy parting with Annie for what is understood to be the last time they'll ever see each other. But what is it that really separates this shot from the rest? What makes Annie Hall's ending so powerful is what it says not just about relationships, but every person's existence as a whole. Allen and his cinematographer Gordon Willis chose to shoot this relatively significant moment in Alvy's life from the perspective of someone else, but not just someone else. Someone no one knows. It's shot from the observational point of view from just a random person, sitting in a restaurant, looking out the window, probably not even thinking about what they're looking at. It just so happens they're witnessing a pivotal moment in Alvy's life. It's one of the best shots in American cinema because it completely alters your perception of not just our main protagonist's life, but our perception of our very own lives. Every day we look out windows in restaurants or in cars or in somewhere and we see exactly what is shown here. Moments in people's lives. A scene which could have otherwise been saturated with tears or dialogue or long looks shared between actors becomes universally relatable in its sudden, utter insignificance. I like it that the last word we hear in this dialogue-filled movie is you. The film may be called Annie Hall, but it's a film about you and me, and Allen's showing us with this shot just how minor and negligible our lives truly are. And it's not a nihilistic message, but a warm and touching one. By having spent 93 minutes with these two people, and having seen every detail of their now suddenly inconsequential little lives, we gain a new respect, insight, and understanding of not just their lives, but of our own lives, and of all life.
Seems like old times, having you to walk with, just like old times, having you to talk with, seems like old times, being here with you.